have been dogged out for years by black women. Black women have went into media and destroyed black men. Even white people are doing this in the movies that I'm seeing. And on reality TV, all I see is a whole bunch of sorry-ass black men. But as a black man, I don't think Tommy is a good representative of someone who is showing a black man in a positive light. If you would like it to where black women would be more positive, or if black men want to be portrayed in a better light in media, I wouldn't suggest that you continue to allow Tommy to be somebody out there to do stuff like this.
Hello, this is Richard Ryder, and this is my response video to Soncerae Smith. The topic: Tommy Sotomayor says abused women deserve to die. Hello, how's everything? Just to let you know, I have been on YouTube for about a year and 6 months. I listen to just about everyone. I'm not a person who just started, and I'm not a person who's really on the scene like that. You probably have seen my comments on a few pages here and there. One of the very first people to ever make a support video for Tommy Sotomayor was me in Painless. One of my videos that's still up to this day told Tommy Sotomayor is a tool. Check it out. I want to say this on the topic of Tommy. You, a female, telling a male that Tommy is not a good example of what we should or should not be listening to. That is the problem right there. You're a female. How can you direct a male into what is good and what is bad? You are genetically different from us. You're 100% different from a male. If you wanted to sit back and get views, you could show more cleavage. You could look more sexy. If a man wanted to show more cleavage, no one would really want to watch that unless he swings for the other team. A female can sit back, get pregnant, go to social services, and live 18 years not stressing about health care, taking care of her child, housing. But if a man were to get a woman pregnant, he would have to find a way to provide. And there is no excuse. A female can sit back and get pregnant again, and she gets more money. So every single time a female gets pregnant, it is always a benefiting factor to it. A female will deliberately have children 10 years apart. She has 4 children. She can sit there and get herself a really nice cozy place in the projects and don't have to worry about nothing until retirement. A male cannot do this. Tommy is that uncle we have in the family that says, learn from my mistakes. Don't do as I do as I say. If you're a male, a black male, there comes a certain point in your life where you realize that black females want unrealistic men. At the age of 18, you're only doing minimum wage. Most likely you're getting into a career, but you're not bringing home the dollars. Now, the female's naturally going to want to have a guy who has stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But the only people who make money at that age are the drug dealers, the thugs, the criminals. And they, just like just like throughout the whole male kingdom, you want to impress the female to get her attention. So they can sit back and buy the newest pair of Jordans. They can get the True Religion jeans, look fresh to death, to allure her to it. Where the guy who's going to school sits back and can't spend money like this, cannot be popping bottles in the club. Now, I know you guys are down in Atlanta So our prices are a little bit different. Coming into the club is $20 for a male. Females are free. Then you got door check. Put your code up, that's $30. A shot up here of Jack Daniels is like $12. So I'm already at $50 and I only had one shot. Who can keep up with this delusional lifestyle? It's not the productive male of society. It's only going to be the thug. Now, I'm not sure if you heard of Tess Tizzle, but he said in one of his videos, even a fat girl can get herself a decent looking man. And I've also said in one of my videos about having standards. And as long as you keep yourself looking right and able to carry on a basic level of conversation, not talking about foolishness, you're going to be able to pull in a decent male. Females would rather be with the lowest common denominator and then expect a man who was at the age of 18 who put in his work to want to get with you in your late 20s, and he has to take care of the thug's child. This is something that Tommy is teaching us younger males. Now, even though I'm not that much younger than Tommy and not that much younger than you, but it holds true. It holds true to guys today, and it holds true for guys tomorrow. Just to let you know, I have a bachelor's, I'm working on a master's, so I'm not an idiot. I consider myself to be an intellectual. Now, do I agree with 100% of all of his ideas? The answer is no. I agree with about 95. Because I'm my own thinker, I'm my own person. 95% of his message will help out 100% of the guys today. If you notice, it's not the guys who are doing well for themselves that are going into the ghetto and getting all these females pregnant. It's the low-life scums that are getting these females pregnant. And they're getting multiple females pregnant. And you females are like, we don't have a chance. BS. That is some of the most foolish statements that any female can utter. The female I'm with today doesn't understand why I don't have no children and I was single as long as I was. And every female that I liked in high school has 2 children, was in an abusive relationship, and on Section 8. And I was there. But I was too nice of a guy. This bad boy mentality that is perpetuated through the black urban, some Hispanic culture needs to come to an end. And Tom addresses those issues. And I feel like females like you like to cherry pick on what Tom talks about. You have to look at the guy's whole entire archive to see what the message is. Now, I've listened to you for about 6 to 7 months. Some of the stuff you say, I agree with. Some of the stuff you say, I think is ridiculous. A lot of people want to say something, and it holds true to a point. I'm different, you can't categorize me. Which is true. But when you start to look at the behavior patterns of the guys who are abusive, they all start to look the same. They all start to talk the same. The common elements we can make a category from. Is he aggressive? Does he show lack of authority? Does he not have a male figure in his life? Does he have a younger brother? These are things that all females can start to see. But no, you like to fall for the nice 5 Series BMW, and you love to live in the allure that this is the best man, and you fool yourselves. You do. Because these thugs, they're not great actors. But they are able to sit there and make you feel good about yourself. They are able to give you some sort of financial gain, but it's only temporarily. And females love to live fast from 16 to 25, and then start to slow down when they realize that all their white girlfriends are getting married, they didn't have abortions, or they didn't have children. This is such a common denominator that it needs to be discussed. And sitting back and saying, hey, it's all right. It's all right. Only God can judge. Has not got us anywhere. We need to start saying, listen, stop acting like a goddamn whore. You was raised better than this. You know better than this. And it doesn't come sweet off the tongue. But when it hits home. And that's one thing that I appreciate about Tom. He's not sitting back trying to give me sweet yeses and sweet dreams. He talks about how it's hard. If you're digging for diamonds and you don't got the tools, you might have to use your hands, and your hands might get bloody. But there is a diamond at the end of the tunnel. And of course, no one wants to hear that message. No one wants to hear that, hey, I'm doing something that's wrong. I'm sitting back and I'm doing things that goes against my Bible. I'm doing things that's detestable to God. Because most of us are all Christians. And we know what's right and wrong. But I enjoy fornicating until I catch an STD. And Tom is sitting back and saying, strap it up. Get with a woman who wants something. If you're with a woman who has no standards, that says a lot about who you are. You know, as I'm making this video, you just replied back to me. And you said, I don't watch his stuff. I don't care to. So, in other words, you can easily spread ignorance and deceive and damage the perception of another person, and you find this to be all right. I find that to be amazing right there. And I see that a lot of you black females are not helping out the next generation of the black female. So it's the same exact mistake that has to keep being repeated. But you guys, and when I say this, I'm talking about that percentage that loves to have children out of wedlock. You don't see where your sons go to. Some of them make it. Some of them get to the NFL. Some of them get to the NBA. A good portion of them end up in jail.